Welcome to another episode of Art and Symbols of St. John's. We are continuing with the large stained glass windows at the top of the sanctuary that depict the life of Jesus. And we are up to the Crucifixion of Jesus. So if you take a look at this stained glass depiction, there is Jesus crucified. He's wearing the crown of thorns, and above him is the sign INRI. This is the sign that was put above Jesus' head by Pilate, and it says, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. INRI are the Latin version of that. So I is for the J, there's no J in the Latin. N is for Nazareth, R is Rex for king, and I is for Judea, or for the Jews. Again, the I and J sort of swap. You'll see that he is surrounded by a few different figures. At his feet, that is Mary Magdalene. And then to our right is St. John. You can usually recognize him. He usually has very long, flowing hair. And to our left, there in blue is Mary, the mother of Jesus. We'll read a story about their part in this. Also, you see above Jesus, there are clouds that are separating. There's sort of this dark, stormy picture and the bright blue breaking forth. This is heaven being torn asunder at the death of Jesus. And we are going to read, this is out of John chapter 19, verses 16 through 30. And this is John's version of the crucifixion. So they took Jesus, and carrying the cross by himself, he went out to what is called the place of the skull, which in Hebrew is called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on either side, with Jesus between them. Pilate also had an inscription written and put on the cross. It read, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Many of the Jews read this inscription because the place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and it was written in Hebrew, in Latin, and in Greek. Then the chief priests of the Jews said to Pilate, "Do not write the King of the Jews, but this man said, 'I am King of the Jews.'" Pilate answered, "What I have written, I have written." When the soldiers had crucified Jesus, they took his clothes and divided them into 4 parts, one for each soldier. Then they also took his tunic. Now the tunic was seamless, woven in one piece from the top. So they said to one another, "Let us not tear it, but cast lots for it to see who will get it." This was to fulfill what the scripture says. They divided my clothes among themselves, and for my clothing they cast lots. And that is what the soldiers did. Meanwhile, standing near the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing beside her, he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that hour the disciple took her into his own home. And after this, when Jesus knew that all was now finished, he said, in order to fulfill the scripture, "I am thirsty." A jar full of sour wine was standing there. So they put a sponge full of the wine on a branch of hyssop and held it to Jesus' mouth. When Jesus had received the wine, he said, "It is finished." Then he bowed his head and gave up his spirit.